What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relay reverse rants, no hate. So, let's talk about soon to be in the WWE Montana Love versus Stevie Sparks. First off, people, this is not going to take long, and it's really common sense. Unless you have bad vision. Anybody with two good eyes can see what Montana Love did. First of all, Montana Love, he was starting to get beat. Stevie Sparks was starting to really get at him. He didn't like that pressure. He didn't like Stevie Sparks' big size, and it started to bother him mentally. He started, what else can I do? He didn't know what to do. And he got dropped. He got cut. The doctor is on the apron. He's talking to him. You can hear him saying, I can't see. I can't see nothing. The doctor's telling him, I'll give it about another minute. So, pretty much, he goes out there and he made up his mind when he's coming at Stevie Sparks, and Sparks is giving it right back to him and actually getting the better of him. What Aries saw was simple. He didn't want to get knocked out. He didn't want to get beat, especially in front of his home crowd, right? He didn't want that to happen. He made up in his mind when he walked away from that doctor that he was going to do something to get disqualified. Not only that, when he did what he did, you can clearly see in that tangle up where he tried to actually, as he's walking Sparks back to the ropes, he tried to literally go down the hook his leg, but he has on gloves, right? And maybe at that split second he realized, nah, that's too obvious. When he goes back, let me tell you, as a fighter, we use the ropes to spring off to throw harder punches at times, right? Same way. It's a momentum thing. So the referee is behind him. When Sparks' back hit the ropes and he kind of springs back, you see Love lunge forward with his shoulders and his forearm is up. You know why that is. The momentum plus him pushing is what carried him over. You think that if Montana Love wasn't pushing him, that Sparks' momentum would have just carried him over the top rope? No. You see him with the forearm and push. Did you see him try to hold on to him to grab him to keep him from going over the rope? No, that's not what he did. Okay? He tried to hurt him in the worst way. What if Montana Love pushed him out that ring and he landed on his head? What if? Fortunately, he landed on his feet and was able to, go out without being harmed. But that was some cowardly shit, right? And what got me was Chris Algieri was one of the commentators. I forget the other two names. That was there. It was a female and the other guy. I forget their names. But in their commentary, they're trying to justify his frustration. It said, it's same thing. Mike Tyson lost his cool and Holyfield kept headbutting him. Man, stop that bullshit. There was no fucking headbutting. I don't give a fuck about any other fight. You watch that fight with Tyson and Holyfield, and you see, Mills Lane himself was the referee and said Mike Tyson was the one initiating the headbutts. Holyfield brought that to Mike Tyson's attention on Mike Tyson's own show. Hot boxing with Mike or whatever you call it, right? And when Holyfield said Mike was the one headbutting me, he telling people I'm headbutting him. What did Mike do? He's cracking up, hitting the table, laughing. He know that was bullshit. Mills Lane told him it was bullshit, right? And just like Mike making excuses up in that fight, well, Montana Love corner is telling the referee, man, Sparks he was throwing elbows all night and you didn't take no points away. What elbows? What elbows? And I'm watching the fight. It wouldn't take you to tell me he was throwing that elbows are being thrown. I have two good eyes that work. Watching that fight, it's like, there was no elbows, man. Your man was getting his ass whooped. That's what happened. Your fighter was getting beat. He went out like a sucker. That was some sucker shit that he did. And basically, what has been said is that, Eddie Hearn got in the ring. Eddie Hearn, told him, look, the decision is what it is. We'll appeal it Monday, and we'll take it from there. Right? There was no need to keep going on about the shit. But what I found to be weird is how they were talking. And they're talking about the shit like, what is it to appeal? They're talking about it like Montana Love was done wrong. No, Montana Love was the one who did the wrong. So now, they appeal it, and it'll be like people there that wasn't at the fight. So there's no influence from the outside coming in, basically, whatever. It's just pretty much they'll make a judgment. Now, if it's overturned, the fight will be considered a no contest, which means Montana Love walks out of there without having just due punishment done. Because there's no way that he should be able to walk away from that without a loss on his record. Because for them to say that, oh, it was an accident, is bullshit. That was no accident. There was no accident. He did that on purpose. He got frustrated. He tried to get disqualified. So even if it's not overturned, what is he going to be able to say about the loss on his record? It was a disqualification. I didn't do it on purpose, but that's what they, so people will overlook that loss and say, well, he didn't legitimately lose. No, he was getting his ass. He started getting his ass whooped. And the crazy thing about it, if you saw that fight, the judges had Montana Love up on the scorecards. I think 3-1. What? What fight was you watching, man? Like, what? So, it was in front of his home crowd. They booed, Sparks, of course. They cheered Montana Love even after they saw what he did. And it didn't take me but the first time to see it. But looking at that replay over and over, and you still come to the conclusion that it was an accident. Or, well, he's not the only one. This is what I mean about boxing as well. And even as commentators, why would you try to even justify that shit? And even be okay? Why would you be okay with the fact that someone does something deliberate? Like, Victor Ortiz bending his knees and springing up and clearly using his head like a battering ram against Floyd's mouth, and then say, oh, Floyd's momentum pulled me forward. I'm not a dirty fighter. You couldn't see that? It's like poking the bear is okay. It's when the bear strikes back. And what happened? Referee does this and back up, says time or whatever, and Victor Ortiz people, like stupid asses, is yelling something at the referee, and Ortiz dumbass is over there looking at the ref, and Floyd says, okay, you want to keep hugging? Okay. They already fucking hugged and all right, whatever. He did what he had to do. And here's a situation where a guy deliberately does something wrong, but we're going to give him a pass. Why? He was wrong. And that was on purpose. That was no mistake. The mistake was not being able to disguise it to make it look like it was a mistake. And I think he need to have that loss stay on his record. Hopefully they do the right thing. And if they don't, it just goes to show you boxing is just, already in the shithole of a state right now. But it's just, it just goes to show you it nobody really gives a fuck, man. We already know that anyway. But goddamn it, they're still waiting for this B sample with Conor Benn. What happened to the B sample? It just died down, right? Huh? Let's give Conor Benn a second chance. What happened to the B sample? It's always something going on in boxing that somehow, some way, let's just sweep it under the rug like it never happened. Nah. As far as I'm concerned, Stevie Sparks won that fight. He was winning that fight. Montana Love knew he couldn't win. Just like Tyson biting Holyfield's ear, not because of no fucking head, but because he knew that he couldn't win. He was getting his ass whooped. And pretty much he just envisioned the same shit happening again. And he bit his ear as a way out. Montana Love dumps him over the top. He's trying to reach and he couldn't. He put his weight. He's literally pushing with his forearm, with his left forearm, and easily could have grabbed him with his other arm to keep him from falling out. No, he dumps him out. And that was on purpose. Stop with this WWE bullshit, with this wrestling nonsense where, you know, fighters can sit up here. They do that only in wrestling. You know, pull a guy hair, do something from outside the ring and turn around. I didn't do anything. This guy sitting up here telling us that he was elbowing all night long. Where was the elbows? You know, hometown or not, you know, I don't support that type of shit, whether you in the U.S., outside the U.S., whatever. And there's people that do that bullshit. They'll cheer for you, or because you're the hometown hero or from that particular country, whatever. And wrong is wrong, but not now. It's not wrong because we the same nationality type of bullshit. He lost that fight, plain and simple. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.